Any questions? All right, get cracking.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Wow. Okay. Corrective coaching techniques. Okay. Corrective coaching techniques in the world of basketball is for beginners of levels are crucial and are laying a strong foundation for fundamental skills. It's over here, guys. We're going to be touching a lot on your shooting, your dribbling, and obviously passing. Developing proper techniques is very, very important from the base level. Hence, now we're saying we're starting from this level. It might just be boring for some, but very important that from this level, this is what we're looking for. We want you guys to actually help us out when you're finding new players. Their techniques is actually polished before they get to the club level, the provincial levels and the national level. Okay, let's have a look at what we have. Okay. Teach beginners proper hand placement on the ball. Okay, dribbling techniques and control. So basically, when you're having a ball, the ball is very nice. It's very designed. There's those lines and there's that texture on the ball. Those lines are designed for a specific reason. So when you're having a ball, make sure that there's one hand, okay, is on the supporting hand, which is the non-dominant hand, is on the side of the ball, and obviously the dominant hand is actually behind the ball. Make sure that the players, your players, use those lines. The lines actually go, the fingers are going into those lines in order to help that bit of a sort of, let's say you're giving a pass or you're also taking a shot, they're giving that back spin. So your fingers and the ball is resting nicely on the fingers rather than on the palm of the hand. So the technique of handling the ball, it's very, very important, because when you're dribbling, you're not actually going to be palming the ball. You're just actually giving a soft sort of movement, you know, like of the hand, and using just your fingers just to tap the ball. So this is now actually need a practical just to show the guys what I'm talking about. But make sure that when you're dribbling, they do not use the palm of the hand, you know, and you just actually just let them do stationary dribbling, just bouncing, you know, ball on the side of the chair, left hand, right hand, just using the wrist. Make sure there's a bit of a flow, you know, from the wrist rather than the palm of the hand. Use the fingers and just slowly and softly actually pouncing on that ball. Okay. And then once you have done all of that, then slightly start getting to them to actually move around the court, you know, let them push up and down, you know, probably from the baseline to the free throw line, and then turn back, you know, change hands, and I'll put a lot of emphasis onto the players that they make sure that they use both hands, yeah, both the dominant hand and the sort of non-dominant hand, because in a game situation, they both have to actually be strong enough so that you don't lose or create a lot of turnovers. That will be your dribbling.
Sipa, just to re-emphasize your point there, the purpose of these presentations, specifically in this one, is just to touch on the theory side of it. Obviously, we will be doing sessions on all of these fundamental skills with video clips in later presentations. But I think it's important that we stress to everybody the importance of correcting and making sure that we are coaching the correct technique. So the slide that Sipa Banda is presenting us, just to give you an overview of what we need to highlight when it comes to the different skills. And then obviously we'll do sessions on each of the skills. And then when you get through to the practical workshops, then obviously all of this will make a lot more sense. Moving on to the next slide for you, Sipa. Sipa, you still there? All right, let me carry on until Sipa gets back on. Yeah, so as we discussed, making sure that with regards to shooting, there he is, he's back. You're back. All right, carry on, Sipa.
I'm back on, Jerry.
All right, carry on.
Okay, fantastic. I think that's the weather updating the network. So basically, when it comes to shooting, we have what you call the principles. Okay, that needs to be followed. Maybe a step that you follow when you're teaching shooting. It's called BIF. BIF. The B stands for balance. The E stands for, so excuse me, the elbow. Second E stands for I, and F stands for follow through. So once the player is fully balanced, good position, good chair positioning, facing the basket, then they just merely tuck in the elbow. The elbow needs to be, sort of in line with the knees, like the presentation we did last week. The eyes are sort of focused onto the target, and when they're taking the shot, there is a follow through. I always ask the players that your finishing of your hand, your finishing of your fingers must be where your eyes are looking. So you advise the players to keep their eyes onto the target, and they must not drop their arm. I always say in the beginning, keep your arm there so that we can monitor your shooting. Take some videos, because I normally take videos and take some pictures as my players actually go through this. Take some pictures, show them, okay, this is what you did wrong. I need you to do this. So for beginners, it's important that that type of feedback they can see and they can receive, and they can also give sort of good feedback to you as well as a coach. So the principle of BIF cannot be compromised. It applies even for both guys. I mean, those guys are actually using both hands when they're shooting. It's just the same principle, just balance. The elbows are coming in. There is focus onto the target, and then they actually finish it off with a follow through. So when you're getting to shoot, bring them closer to the basket. Okay, for youngsters especially, guys that are still at school, that you'll find that the hoop is a little bit higher for them. There is those especially sort of design, or maybe they sell it in some of the sportsmen areas, where the hoops can actually adjust them to bring them lower. Go get those, because you need to get these kids to use those hoops and being able to use the side of the board. So once they have mastered that, you can start asking them to go further out, push them a little bit further out.
Okay. Intentional.
All right. Okay. Passing. We've got chest pass, bounce pass, overhead pass. Okay, thank you. Okay, we've got chest pass, bounce pass, and overhead pass. Okay, those are the basic passing techniques. Once they're passing the ball, they're just keeping their arms extended, passing to each other, facing each other, or maybe you as a coach, you've been stand in front of the player, let them pass to you, and then pass it back to the player. When they pass, there's still that bit of a wrist movement. When they're passing to you, they must still use their fingers, because we want to see that bit of a back spin pass.
Sorry, Sipa, we muted you by mistake. Can Coantle please keep your microphone on mute?
I got it. Thank you. Okay. All right. So bounce passes. Okay, that's when you like having a player facing you or facing each other, actually pushing bounce the ball. Extending thumbs will be finishing facing down. and at arms extended, the ball bounced down and to the chest, to the arms of the opposition of opposing player and bouncing it back. Those are the bounce passes. These type of passes, these are the passes that you'll find happening a lot more in a game situation. Overhead pass is when they're sitting, not facing each other, but sort of parallel to each other. They're passing over, from the right hand to the left, and then using the left hand as well to pass to the right. So overhead passes are very, very important as well. That also helps if you are being defended by somebody. Being on the left hand side, you cannot bring the ball to the left hand side. You have to put it on the right hand side. And obviously, when you're giving a pass, must be overhead because we're going to give it a bit of a lob pass. Okay, and I think we did cover that on last week. Please emphasize on accuracy. Sorry about that, Jerry. Just back. Please emphasize on accuracy and timing, proper timing onto the passes. Okay, passing to each other and especially to the teammates. Okay, accuracy and timing. We're limiting turnovers and right now in Super Sport we have a high turnover rate in our games. So if you minimize that, definitely you'll find yourself that you're gonna stand a better chance in winning games. Okay. Individual attention. Provide individual attention to each player and identify areas that improvement and offer a personal guidance. So important that you give feedback to the players and then you especially after the game or after the training session, and in that way, then the players will give you feedback as well as, coach, I was not comfortable about this. I didn't understand this, what you wanted me to do here. So individual and individual attention is very, very important. Understand the strength and weaknesses of the players. Okay. It's important to also have an assistant on court and obviously for demonstration. That's why sometimes when we do these trainings, you guys as coaches, we're putting you guys on chairs, have a feel of how it's like to be on a chair and how to then execute the fundamentals correctly. So you need to demonstrate, especially for the beginners. So understand that it is very, very important. The demonstration, it's very, very important. So if you give that and the players, then the player would respond to you positively.
Sorry, man.
Okay. All righty. Next one. Any question thus far? Yes, next one, Jerry. Okay. Okay. One very important okay. One other important element into this game, there has got to be a progressive learning. Okay. Break down the skills. Okay, break down the skills into simple and easy to understand steps. Okay, and gradually progress into more complex drills and game-like situations. We did touch base on that one last time when we did our presentation. So do not be complex. Okay, when the guys are starting, keep it simple. Okay, and when you see that there is a bit of growth happening, a bit of understanding and easy steps. Okay, like bouncing the ball, how to push the chair, how to pivot, how to do scrimmages, how to do layups. Do it in a slow movement. Remember now, we're looking to perfect. Okay, not at high speed. We're looking to perfect, the action. We're looking to perfect the skill. Because if they're doing it high skill, at high speed, it's difficult to really see and identify where the weaknesses is. So it's important that you just ask them to slow down, keep it simple, come closer to the key when you're doing shots. Okay, when they're doing passes, bring them closer to each other. Chest passes, bounce passes, overhead pass, and when they actually sort of master the skills, push them wider. Okay, and so they can extend. Therefore, as they become stronger, it becomes easier for the muscles, and then you start introducing drills that are actually sort of game-like situation, so that in the back of their heads and obviously the muscles as well, they're getting used to those kind of situations, especially when you do transition trainings, like 1-on-2, 2-on-1, 2-on-1s, pardon me, 3-on-2s, 4-on-3s, 5-on-4s. So introduce those game situation like drills, and then it will help with for the players. Okay. Start by basic drills, focusing on individual skills, then progress to partner drills, small side games, reinforcing teamwork, and once again, once you see that the players are starting to have a bit of an understanding on what is expected out of them, start saying to them, hey guys, I really want you to be able to focus on certain techniques, and obviously reinforcing, putting more emphasis on the teamwork, because remember there's going to be five players on court. So teamwork is also important, and also give them rules that create decision making. Sometimes it just hampers the game performance if the players do not have a good court IQ, because the decision making impacts on the timing of the pass. Remember, I spoke about that earlier on, and or the timing of the shot, or the timing of the defensive position. If it's too late, it's going to be a call on you, and it's going to be sort of a defensive foul. So you put a lot of emphasis on that one to the entire team, and say, you know what, with our decision making, this is how we can correct it, and how quickly can we correct that. That's one. Okay. Okay. Use positive reinforce, encourage beginners, and reinforce desired behavior. Okay. Raise efforts. Sorry. Okay, there we go. All right. Praise effort, improvement, and accomplishment, no matter how small. So it's always you gotta actually give positive feedback. Praise them. Okay. Encourage you have seen improvement today. Like I said last time, if you're doing sort of that around court sort of 7 minutes drill, and then if you find that today they did it in 24 laps, tomorrow they 25 laps, that's improvement. So you test them on those ones, and you give praise on that one, you give accomplishments on that one, and then regardless how small it is, but you always create that feeling that they want to come back, for more training, basically, and they're looking forward to come for the game. Offer constructive criticism to them. Do not hamper them. Do not drill them into the end unless they're seasoned players. But if they're beginners, do not actually stay on their heads. Understand that they've got a long way to go, and it's imperative that you should keep it simple and make sure that you give positive feedback to them. Next one. Okay. Okay. This is a very, very important one for me, and I kind of really like it. Okay. Like visualizing and verbal clues. So it's important that the players, when they're in a game, or they're in a practice session, you encourage that they visualize themselves, and doing certain things in the game. They must try, for instance, ask them to imagine themselves doing or performing or a good execution in a game, maybe a transition. They must visualize that in a game situation. They must visualize themselves, in a scenario whereby they just actually maybe a few points below, and that they're about to take a shot. They must create that mind. They can picture themselves doing all these positive and successful executions, and drill them on that. Ask them probably to close their eyes if you have to, but they must make sure that they really truly visualize and sort of help to enhance their mindset you know, their mental mindset and say, this is where I am. I'm in a game now, you know, and this is what I've achieved. Let them see a persona, somebody that they've seen that are performing at the highest level. Let them see being that person, doing that and mastering, you know, the game of the performance or executing whatever, you know, that has been actually being given out by the coach. Yeah? And even verbal, you know, we need communication on court. Okay, players need to be able to communicate on court. If they definitely do not communicate on court, it's like, hey, come on now, Jerry, please, dear, there's the player behind you, player, pick coming, you know. So those communication, it helps to enhance the team sort of behavior, or maybe the team environment, to actually, you know, step up a bit and make sure that they've got this understanding amongst themselves. So it's visualizing, you know, them doing things. It's very, very important. See yourself being somebody out there. See yourself being able to communicate, sending out a message to your teammate. Say, okay, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Watch out on this, and advising each other on thoughts. Keep on communicating. Very, very important. Okay. Okay. Break down instructions into smaller steps. If for beginners, you gotta be short. Gotta be short and straight to the point. Okay. And obviously, once again, we demonstrate. Okay. Yes, I've seen some of the players seeing themselves as Kobe Bryant's out there, the LeBron James, and you know, the Richard Nokias, you know, and the Patrick Anderson, you know. Once they visualize themselves, they can see, okay, I want to be that person. But you as a coach as well, be that role model for the beginner. Be that person, because they're going to be seeing you day in and day out. You are in on court, you are there on time, and you are prepared, and the players are not ready, but you are pretty much there. You're ready to go. You're displaying positive attitude, you sportsmanship, you do not swear. Remember what Charles spoke about, the safeguarding policy last time. You know, you now have mastered yourself as a coach, and being that leader that these players need. So you need to be that role model, that role model that the players will need, you know, would want to be, you know, when they actually sort of getting better into their games, or they grow into their games. Positive attitude and obviously sportsmanship. Be kind, you know, to other teams. Do not actually bring down other teams if you're playing and you're winning and you're saying some nasty and negative things about other teams. Do not do that, because the players will feed out of that, and it doesn't gonna be healthy for your team. Encourage your being to observe and learn from more experienced players. And cannot say it further than that, but your players must observe what those experienced players are doing, and they must try and emulate that. You know, try and let them try to do that, because at the end of the day, this is the level they want to be, or this is the level they want to be, and go beyond that particular level. So let them have a certain target, let them have certain standards that they want to reach. So encourage them to actually reach those levels. Okay. Repetitive drills with variation. Okay, incorporate repetitive drills with variation to help beginners master fundamentals. So the drills that you're actually going to be throwing into your practice session, make sure that you repeat them, because and they will have to understand that this is where we want to be, and this is where we want to get to, you know, and as a team, and this is what I want to be as a player. Okay, let them be part of it, let them engaged, you know, and make sure that's a lot of fun on court. So especially for most beginners, we do a certain drill that's called sharks, you know, where at least one player would be chasing the other player. Maybe you start using, ask them to just use both hands, pushing around court, chasing the other players and touching them. And then you start saying, no, okay, now, you know what, you're using one hand to push a chair. So what happens then, they're going to have to try and use the core muscles, okay? Well, and then once that happens, then you say to yourself, oh, no, okay, yeah, you know what, you did very well. Now, no more hands. You're just using just your core muscles to control your chair. You know, therefore, the skills level that actually starts to beginning to show is to who's got better chess skills, you know, because now you're starting to be more stable and more strong onto their chess. Okay, so please do modify drills to cater to individuals' levels and abilities. So when you see that certain individuals they're struggling with certain drills, please have an ability as a coach to say, you know what, I'm going to change myself. I'm going to change the way I'm approaching my training sessions now. This individual is not able to grasp on this. How am I going to actually help that player? Maybe take him on the side and start working on the certain drills with that particular player. That will actually try and quickly give him an opportunity to join or be at the level where you want that player to be and with the rest of the team. So try and modify your drills. Okay, game-like scenarios. Introduce beginners to a game-like scenarios early on to help them understand the practical application of skills and strategies. Use small side games, modify scrimmages format, and simulate real game situation and encourage active participation. So, you know, introduce those scenarios. You know, let them play. You know, let them have drills whereby they're engaging. You know, they're part of it. You know, and then because at the end of the day, you want to see that practicality coming through from out of the players. Okay, we will show you guys as to what type of practical engagement that you need to actually give it to this players, but let it be strategic because you want to get them to a certain level. Okay, there's one drill that I normally do here with my team where I actually want to see a quick sort of reaction in terms of defense. You know, where I have like lined up cones into parallel, that's 7 cones one side and 7 cones on the other side, and I'm asking the players to go across, and one player is on opposite end and the other player is on opposite end. How do they then defend? There's like enough space for chess to go in between these 5 gaps that are put on court, but the other players need to react quickly and say, no, you're not going to come through, but this other player say, no, I'm going to go through this way. You know, you started without the ball and then you bring in the ball. So you by introducing those little scenarios, introducing those strategies, you start applying certain thinking, you know, elements or practicality into the player's mindset and say, okay, this is what I'm actually going to be, I've got to do. Even the scrimmages, you know, do not do scrimmages that are actually going to be full court for most beginners. Close down, bring them narrow, bring them through into the half court. Let them do scrimmages that are actually very close by and then going to be quick to understand. I'm not sure whether everybody understands about scrimmages. Basically, the game-like situation. Okay, patience and support. Be patient and be supportive. Okay, and understanding that the beginners may struggle initially as they learn new skills. Okay, create supportive and inclusive team environment where beginners feel comfortable asking questions and seeking help from coaches and teammates. So be patient, you know, do not rush through, you know, and be able to listen and take it in and make sure that you give positive feedback. That environment you create as a coach, whereby your players are able to give feedback, and some of the players are just not open to, you know, to a group sort of situation. Be in a situation whereby you can say, you know what, send me a message if you want to actually ask any question, or use a team captain if you want to ask me any question. But create an environment as a coach whereby your players are quite comfortable and you're not rushing them through to understand drills. Remember, you're gonna make sure you keep on doing it over and over and over again until the players get to understand. And remember, your approach for the season, your approach for that particular player has got to be there is an involvement of everybody into the team. So it's very, very important that you stay patient and be supportive to the players. Do not shout at them, do not squeal at them, do not even laugh at them. So just be a solid coach and say, say this is what I want to see my team going forward. And if we break one part of the chain, obviously the entire strength of the chain would be weakened. So you do not want to do that as a coach. Okay. Continuous learning and improvement. Okay. Emphasize the importance of continuous learning and improvement. Encourage your beginners to practice outside of scheduled sessions and seek feedback for ongoing development. So your players need to understand that it doesn't end on court. Okay, on your sessions, they must make sure that they're doing a lot of practice off court, and also they must do a lot of research themselves off court in order to improve. Remember, it's actually a personal benefit, to go out there and do much more, than the other person. So it is very, very important that you emphasize that and make sure that they keep on learning. It doesn't really necessarily end up with you as a coach, but it's also helping out, the players themselves understanding that there's quite a bit of your work that needs to be put in as well in order to actually improve yourself. So the ongoing development is crucial, and we do get to the stage sometimes that certain players are just not coachable anymore, and you ask yourself why. Is it resistant from the player mindset, or is it that player didn't really truly give him or herself an opportunity to do more beyond what is being provided by the coaches? So ask them to watch the videos, ask them to download. You can only, sometimes you yourself can download and share videos, let them watch that, and at home, maybe to run as they actually doing scrimmages on court, you doing some videos, then you can share those videos with the players, or maybe that particular player, to make sure that they learn and see what they've been doing wrong and what they've been doing positively. So emphasize the importance of continuous learning. It's very important. Even for you as a coach, it's crucial. Okay. Okay. By applying these corrective coaching techniques at the beginner level in the wheelchair basketball, coaches can help beginners to build strong foundations of skills, develop confidence, which is very, very important, because if you're not confident, then you're going to be lacking a little bit of trust and believing in yourself and to the team. Okay, foster a love into the sport and keep them engaged and motivated to improve. So in that way, that if they're full of love and then they are engaged, they're definitely going to be staying motivated, and obviously they'll be looking to improve, and obviously going to retain and keep those players within the team. And with that, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
You made it with 1 minute to spare. Well done, coach.
I'm still running through, man.
Are there any questions?
Guys?
Don't be shy. Surely there must be a question or two. Any comments? Are you guys, are these sessions useful? Can you give us some feedback, both positive and negative, but be constructive?
Yeah. Correct. Absolutely correct.
Thank you for the comment, Nikki. Much appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, it was quite an informative session there, and just from my side, thank you very much, Sipa Madla, for your time there, and I'm sure you're going to drink a nice glass of water after that to get your throat sorted out.
Sure.
But yeah, guys, thank you very, very much. The next session will be on Tuesday, Hopefully Coach Max has got his technical issues sorted out. He had a problem with his phone, hence the reason why he wasn't able to present. So we'll move on with his sessions, and then there will be a bit of a break purely because I am traveling to Europe for the IWF meetings. And then we will resume at the end of the month. And we have also included some more workshops for up until July now. I will share, I'm not sure if I have shared it already, but if not, I will update you as we go. Again, these sessions are not compulsory, but obviously it's an opportunity for you to develop your personal skills, and videos will be uploaded. And thank you very much. So from our side, we will catch you guys on Tuesday next week. Thanks once again.
Good evening, guys. Thank you so much. Cheers.